Friday Fun video. And I wanted to involve Sabrina, so I roped her into this because a lot of your comments from our last video about her watches were directed at her or involved her in some way. So I thought that I would have her, we could go through them and answer some of them. But the great thing is that between that last video and now, I was able to reveal to Sabrina the true secret mission of all the things that I was trying to do for her because of her desire for a certain thing.
First, I hope you're not sick of me. Second, here's what I got. This one.
Months of work.
If people recall a video we made a while ago, I said I really wanted a Robert Redford Rolex, thinking that I would never get one, and here I am.
This was months of work. So this isn't like, I wanted to, I knew her that if I didn't go out and spend 5 figures on this watch or anything else like that. I'm a watchsmith, so I built one out of parts. A refurbished mid case and case back, a factory refinished dial, an original dial, original hour and minute hand reloomed to match. It's got an aftermarket sweep hand with it I'm looking to replace. It's an original 5512 crystal that doesn't have the Cyclops on it. I actually didn't like the high top Cyclops, so I put the lower one in there. It's a genuine 1570 movement. And so it's sort of a mix and match, but I built it specifically so that she could have it and enjoy it and wear it. And without worry. It's not like a crazy museum piece. It's just something fun that I built her that she really wanted. And, you know, she always has to preface whenever she says that she likes something, she has to say, don't get it for me. Don't get it for me.
Yeah, I don't say my opinions anymore because things appear, so.
Okay, so we had some things. Let's see. Why don't you read let's read the top one.
Okay, so this was from sorry, Jason Thompson. I had the black version of the 051 when first came available. It wore a little big for me and I sold it, but it kept excellent time. I don't have a time grapher or anything, and I'm not a watchsmith, but just timing it with an app on my phone, it was like +1 second per day. Sorry. I see claims like that all the time, and I think, yeah, right, because most Seikos I have ran at -10 to +15 seconds per day. But that 051, so accurate, I still wonder if I was making a mistake in the timing I was doing. It was just unbelievable. Maybe, probably, the movement lubed by a machine. The machine has maintenance issues. Watches come out, eventually mislubed.
Definitely could be the case. I'm not entirely sure. I've got at least 3 other 6R watches in my projects drawer that have these same issues that I need to go through. I mean, this one certainly had lube problems. And if it's a general issue, if that's what's causing it with these other watches, we can say that maybe that's really actually the problem, which is unfortunate. This watch now, I bolted this together 6 days ago. By Sunday, it had lost 1 second. By Monday, it had gained 2 seconds. And then I forgot about the watch. I actually put it on my watch box. And I didn't touch it for 3 days. And I remembered that I wanted to make a video about it today with Sam Speak from the Casual Watch Review channel. And so I grabbed it, assuming it would have stopped. And it was still running. And not only was it running, it was basically on time. Since bolting it together, 26 seconds it had gained. 26, 28 seconds, something like that. So the architecture, the movement itself is good. The lubrication was not good. So, I mean, maybe you just got lucky. I hope for your sake you did. Anyway, next question.
Next question from, it's a screen name, so bear with me. 240 Snoosarin?
I guess so.
Okay. Seeing couples that loves and supports each other like you warms my heart. Yeah. You seem like such great people. Thank you. Regarding 70s watch design, whether you like or not, you can't argue against the fact that it's very distinct, and I'd rather have something funky and wacky that is distinct than something mediocre. If I had more cash, I'd easily have a watch box filled with the craziest 70s designs I could find, like the gold one in the video, just to admire and occasionally wear. I actually kind of unironically dig the watch that Sabrina said she hated in the video, funnily enough.
Was it this one?
I didn't like that one, but it was also...
Was it the yacht timer? The crazy multicolored...
No. The one I said that I didn't like anything about was it had a brown round...
Oh, yeah. That one was sort of the ovalish kind of thing. Yeah, it's a 7006. Okay, anyway. But, 70s watches, for good or for ill, boy, they have a lot of really powerful style. It's like, if you buy an early 70s El Camino, they're absolutely distinctive. You can't mistake them for anything else.
No, and they're pretty cool.
What, a 70s El Camino?
Sure.
I never liked them.
I don't know. I think they're interesting.
Okay, so what's the next one?
From James Smith. Loves Sabrina's Rolex. Very interesting comparison of watch styles. Thanks. You're welcome.
Yep, I know. This was me testing the waters and kind of get some other stuff. Can you believe this watch is like almost 50 years old? But, this thing, the problem is that she had me jump for the video last week. I wanted to wait until this I was able to finally finish the...
You could have said no.
I don't like, what are you going to do? Anyway, but it worked out well. That's my... Anyway, so next question.
From Peter Chalice. I have a problem with those old cheapo 70s bracelets. I can't bear them, and those pressed steel clasps. I'd switch them out soon as I could. I guess they have their own charm, though, and they save some weight on the wrist. Anyway, great video.
Yeah, what's funny is a lot of people complain about these 70s bracelets, these folded bracelets. They say, oh, they sound kind of tinny. And I agree, they do sound a little bit tinny, especially when you compare it to, something that's solid stainless like this. But I will say, one of the things I love about these 70s bracelets, these folded steel ones, is they're very comfortable. They have a lot of give to them, and yes, they're light. But I totally understand it about the wanting more solid bracelets. I get it.
From Jim C. I can't decide whether I'm jealous of you having a wife who's interested in watches or thankful that mine could care less, lol, but I do know that I love your videos. Well, thank you.
That's it. I just wanted you to hear that.
Okay. I don't know. I guess I care about watches because watches happen. I never thought about watches in my youth. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I could have been really into bowling or, shot put or something, or collecting, I don't know, something. Pogs or vintage electrical insulators, which people do collect. But
or Zippo lighters.
Zippo lighters. I used to be a smoker a long time ago. And I put all the obsession I had into lighters. I had a pretty magnificent collection. Then I quit smoking and I sold them all in one giant batch. It was great. They're all gone.
From Russell Martin. You guys are an awesome team. Thank you.
See, people do like seeing you on the video.
Well, thank you. I keep saying that I hope you guys aren't sick of me because I keep appearing now. Anyway, from Christian Gonzalez. Great series. It's unfortunate that quality control issues seem to be running amok at Seiko with sieve movement issues over application of loom, not to mention chapter ring and bezel alignment issues. I've held off on some purchases since these issues seem to have shown up in 2 watches I've been looking at.
Yeah, it's tough. There's been a lot of issues with what I've observed from Seiko, and not just the entry level stuff. Like SKX is having all kinds of problems, or in the mid range stuff with 4R and 6R 15s having all kinds of problems, or high end stuff like the reissue SLA 017, the reissue 62 MAS out of the box with problems, and that's an expensive watch. I've been doing some reading, and other people looking through, like Randall Benson, pulled apart some of these high-end movements and found that Seiko had seriously over-lubricated the movements. So it may be, I don't know, maybe there's something over there, but there doesn't seem to be, if this is the case, it doesn't seem like there's an incentive that is motivating Seiko right now to change anything that they're doing. I don't know why that is. I don't know that it's truly the cause, but it's what I've seen. I don't know why. But the problem is it gives more than you pause. It gives everyone pause. What?
I'm looking at the cat.
Oh.
From Jason Harmon. Great series. Really interesting to see your teardown analysis. Every 7S26A I've worked on or owned always runs minimum 220 to 230, even when there probably hasn't been a service in a decade or 3. I've had numerous 7S26Cs that have been nothing but problems, although I did have some successes with swapping in 7S26A balance assemblies in a few cases.
Yeah, it's the problem. I had some success too with changing balances, but the problem was is I didn't get consistent results with that. So, and again, I never tore these movements apart because it was always cheaper to replace them. And what I found again was lubrication. But I don't know if that's standard or I need to rip apart more of them to see. Something definitely changed when the A versions went away. When the A versions went away and they went to the B and the C, that's when all the trouble started, as far as I can tell. And you get a good solid A version of a movement, or the earlier type. Boy, they're just bomb-proof. And I wish I understood why sometimes changing a balance would do that thing, because that's just physical stuff. I don't know why that would happen. The only real variable is, for a machine-made watch like this, the only real variable is, I would say, is lubrication, because human hands don't really touch it that much. But I don't know. It's going to take more research.
And last one from Jeffrey Wood. I agree with you, Spencer. That should not have happened. I'm wondering, how long did it take you to tear it down and put it back together?
A number of people were like, wow, you pulled that thing apart very quickly. Yeah, apart is easy. Apart happens quickly, especially when you pull a lot. What about that one?
Was that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Wait, you're going all over the place.
Am I? Wow, that's okay. You know what? What are you going to do? Anyway, yes, pulling this one apart in my ripping it apart video, this is, to pull apart a movement does not take that long. The hard part is putting it back together. How long does it take? Servicing the movement in this Rolex was about, it's a couple, 3 days of work on and off, just to make sure that it was all correct. Servicing the same basic movement in my uncle's Rolex Explorer was months of work because it was rusty. But something like this, I mean, you pull it apart and you bang it back together, and you can get that done in what amounts to a solid working day. But then you have all the testing after the fact, testing and assembling and making sure that what you did was correct, auto winding and all that crap. So disassembly and assembly is only a portion of what it is needs to be done. I don't know. That's it.
Yes.
So did you have any final thoughts?
No.
No final thoughts?
I don't know.
No final thoughts. Okay, that's really it. I'm going to do another video this coming weekend of yesterday's watch review.
Without me.
Without her. On the Seiko 8306, 8305, 8346 movements that not many people know about. They're fantastic. Also, this watch, the only fully serviced Patty limited edition SBDC 055, is going to be for sale on our website at kleinvintagewatchrepair.com. If you go for watches for sale, and I'll get that done up here later this afternoon. And it's fully serviced, and you have the videos to prove it. And that's about it.
There will be a link to the website in a little box. I don't know where
It's
I
true.
will put it.
It'll be somewhere. So anyway, thank you so much. Have a great weekend, and thanks always for watching. Hey, why don't you move around and do stuff?